The Fox and the Forgiveness. Bedtime story. Peace in Hearthstone Hollow was not the absence of trouble, but the way one met it. And trouble arrived on swift, silent paws, wearing a coat of autumn fire. It was Bramble, Leo's ginger cat, who gave the first warning. He stood on the porch rail, still as a statue, his tail twitching, not with playful curiosity, but with low, measured intensity. His gaze was fixed on the henhouse at the meadow's edge. The evidence was clear in the cold morning light: a few tufts of buff feathers, a scuffle in the dew, and one less Rhode Island red hen counted among the roosting flock. A clever fox had found a way through the old fencing. Leo felt a hot spark of frustration. He'd nurtured these chickens from peeping chicks. He knew their silly quirks, their favorite dust-bathing spots. This wasn't just loss, it felt like a violation of the sanctuary he'd built. "We need a taller fence," he said firmly to Alara, who was examining the tracks in the soft earth. "Stronger wire. A lock." Alara traced the elegant, paw-shaped impression. "She is not a bandit," she said softly. "She is a mother. See how the prints are deep? She is heavy with milk. She has kits to feed in some hidden den. She is taking to provide, just as you do." Leo looked from the scattered feathers to the worried clucking of the remaining hens. The spark inside him dimmed, caught between two truths: his duty to protect, and the understanding that the fox's wild hunger was also a kind of love. The two solutions that afternoon: Leo fortified the henhouse. He doubled the wire, buried it deep, and added a secure latch. It was good, solid work. It was a wall of protection. But that night, as he lay awake listening, an image haunted him, not of a sly thief, but of a hungry vixen nuzzling her starving pups. His wall felt strong, but it felt final. It was a declaration of war on a neighbor he did not fully understand. The next evening, he and Alara walked the far edge of the wood, near where the fox tracks disappeared. Bramble padded alongside, his senses alive to every rustle. There, in a tangled, quiet thicket, they found it, not the den, but a wild salad bar of sorts. A patch of ripe blackberries, a fallen log teeming with grubs, a clearing where mice surely scampered. An idea, gentle and unexpected, began to bloom in Leo's mind. It wasn't a single solution, but a balance. The offering. The following dawn, before the hens were let out, Leo went to the thicket. He did not go empty-handed. In a shallow dish, he placed a humble offering: a handful of the chicken's own grain, a few discarded vegetable peels from the kitchen, and the cracked, unfertilized eggs he sometimes collected. He placed it well away from the coop, near the wild food. It was not a bribe, nor a trap. It was a treaty. A message that said, "Here. This is easier. Leave my loved ones, and I will share from my abundance." He also did one more thing. He took a square of felt and soaked it in strong, bitter wolf's urine, a scent he'd bought from a trapper friend years ago and never used. He nailed this to the top of the new, strong henhouse fence. It was a warning. A clear, wild signal that said, This place is guarded. This is not easy prey. Protection and mercy. A firm boundary and a generous gift. He had built a wall, and then he had built a gate in it, not for the fox to enter, but for understanding to pass through. The vigil and the understanding nights passed. Leo, Ilara, and Bramble kept a quiet vigil from the porch. One moonlit night, they saw her. A flash of russet, elegant and lean, moving not toward the henhouse, but toward the thicket. She paused at the dish, ate swiftly, and melted back into the woods. Bramble, on Leo's lap, simply watched. He did not growl. He seemed to understand the delicate truce. The raids on the henhouse stopped. The offering was taken every other night or so. And once, from a distance, Leo saw 4 small, playful kits tumbling near the blackberry patch, healthy, well-fed, and far from his chickens. He had not conquered the fox. He had redirected her. He had honored her wildness, her need, and her intelligence, while steadfastly guarding his own, the harvest of coexistence. Weeks later, at the first frost, Leo found a gift left near the empty offering dish. It was a perfect, beautiful pheasant tail feather, iridescent in the low sun. It felt less like a thanks, for a fox does not thank, and more like a seal. An acknowledgement of a bargain understood between 2 different kinds of stewards, both providing for their own. That night, Leo wrote in his journal, Bramble purring beside the inkwell, the vixen taught me forgiveness is not about allowing harm. It is about understanding need. True protection isn't just a fence. It is a fence, and then a shared meal placed beyond it. We do not own the wild. We share edges with it. Sometimes, the bravest thing to build is not a higher wall, but a longer, more generous table at its foot. Narrator, and so, dear listener, as you prepare to sleep, think of the edges in your own life. Where are you building only walls, when you might also build a gate? Where can you offer understanding, even as you protect what is precious to you? Remember, the heart is wise enough to be strong and soft enough to be kind. Sometimes, the deepest peace is not the absence of a challenge, but the creative, compassionate response you grow in its presence. Good night. May your dreams be a safe coop for your joy.